call to order, roll call.
Yes, Pancho Avro,
Here.
Osvaldo Lara,
Here.
Andres Gonzalez,
Here.
Richard Perales,
Here.
Louis Lavo,
Here.
Jose Gonzalez.
Here.
For the record, Mr. Chairman, you do have quorum.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'll give our members here a moment to look over the minutes of the last meeting. All right, do I have a motion need a motion to accept the minutes? I have a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting of November 14th.
Second.
I have a motion, a second, to accept the minutes of the meeting on November 14th. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, before we moved on, can you excuse Mr. Martinez? He requested to be excused. by you.
Okay, yes, I need a motion to excuse Mr. Martinez.
Second.
A motion, a second, to excuse Mr. Martinez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carries. Thank you very much. At this point in time, we'll go into our first item, a request submitted by Diana A. Perez to authorize an exception to the literal interpretation of Laredo Land Development Code, Section 24-77, entitled Dimensional Standards by granting a variance to the setback requirements on Lot 4, Block 1188, Eastern Division, located at 2815 South Malinche Street. Is there anybody here to speak on behalf? All right, sir, your name, please?
Jesus come through for the
Mr.
record.
Chairman,
All
can
right,
you
could
open
I,
the
I
public
need,
hearing?
yes, I need a motion to, motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Need a second?
Second.
I have a motion, a second to open the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Go ahead, sir.
Just to, represent Ms. Diana Perez, last time we were here in the meeting, there was an issue that was not, drawn on the plans as a duplex, because that zone was R2. So the plans were resubmitted, and we're here for that variance. If possible.
Okay, so the item, we tabled it last time.
Yes, sir.
With the variance request pending a zone change. Okay, was this brought up for a zoning change
Yes, sir.
and it's already done? Was
What's,
zoning change granted?
No. It was resubmitted as a duplex.
A duplex is allowed in their current zoning, so with the board, motion for was to table it, waiting for the
Okay, I
applicant to
remember now.
either connect the structures or rezone, so he decided to connect them.
So I think we'd already discussed this. Is there, anybody have any further questions? Board members, if you recall this item was the drawings were not drawn up for the.
That is correct.
For a duplex.
Yes, sir. And I verified it with plans examiner of building department, and she in turn verified it with the building official, Mr. Pinzon, the way that it's shown on the plans right now.
So what, I guess, what are they asking for?
The plans that were originally submitted was for 2 separate dwelling units, and that is not allowed in their current zoning. But their current zoning does permit for a duplex, so what he did was to connect the structures to make it a single building.
Okay, but wouldn't that have been able to have been approved by the building official?
They're still
then?
asking for a rear setback.
Okay, so that's what we're here.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
it's a rear setback.
All right, let's look at the rear setback.
See, the rear setback from the required 20 feet building setback to 15 feet building setback. Do you have any other questions? Anybody have any questions? I think we'd address this pretty much last time it was just a matter of making certain that the drawings were reflecting that it was a duplex.
Yes, sir.
And duplexes are allowed, but still the setback requirement that you're requesting is from 20 feet to 15 feet in the back.
Yes, sir.
No further questions? I'll ask to close the public hearing. Need a motion?
That's a move.
I have a motion to close the public hearing. I need a second?
Second.
I have a motion to second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, gentlemen, I think we've already addressed this pretty much. What do we want to do here?
Is there any sort of easement in the back regarding utility easement or drainage easement? It doesn't show on the plan, but is there anything back there like that? Like a utility or drainage easement? Or something in the back that might get disturbed by reducing the setback? I don't see it on here.
I wouldn't think that it would be that far. We're only the easement, even if there was an easement, the setback you're requesting is from 20 feet to 15 feet. So still at 5 feet, it's only 5 feet. The other 15 would still be there. And I wouldn't imagine a 15-foot easement.
It would have showed it here on your,
Yeah, it doesn't show anything, right?
did y'all put the easement,
Consideration?
on that, on there?
No, we don't add easements to our maps, but we can certainly do that from now on with that.
I'm just wondering if it was already on there.
Well, this is old property.
Yeah, maybe the site plan.
Where is it?
Malinche.
En el site plan podemos ver el easement.
I don't know if it's on there. You know there's one back there, Mr. Cantu, an easement in the back? You don't know if there's an easement back there in the back? No, you don't? Typically, where's this, eastern?
Eastern Division.
Yeah, they're typically 6 feet anyway, 5 feet at the most, 6 at the most, 5.
I mean, if you were taking that setback down to a 5 foot or less than 5 feet, I would be more concerned that if we're taking it from 20 feet to 15 feet.
I agree,
I think we're covering everything anyway.
I agree.
In view of that, I'd like to make a motion
You make a motion?
that we approve this request.
Okay. I have a motion, I need a second to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, a second to approve the request as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Our second item is a request submitted by Guillermo R. Rivera to authorize an exception to the literal interpretation of Laredo Land Development Code, Section 24-77, entitled Dimensional Standards, by granting a variance to the setback requirements on Lot 9, Block 9, Vista Hermosa subdivision located at 1512 Wild Rose Lane. Is there anybody here to speak on behalf? Motion to open a public hearing?
So move.
Have a motion to open a public hearing, second?
Second.
A motion, second, to open a public hearing. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. State your name, sir.
Perdón, en español.
¿Su nombre?
Hey,
Mi nombre es Guillermo Rivera. Gudín.
okay.
Sí, tengo que explicar lo que.
Sí, por favor.
Hace aproximadamente unos 8 meses se me ocurrió cerrar el carport, ponerle 3 paredes, pensando que no incurría en un delito, pero hace como 4 meses me llevó un señor oficial una multa que tenía que pagar porque había incurrido en ese delito. Lo hice porque quiero hacer, más bien tengo un gimnasio pequeño porque padezco de la columna vertebral y el nervio ciático, alta presión y las piernas mal. Entonces, pues el doctor me dijo que haciendo ejercicio para que me sintiera mejor. Entonces, para eso lo hice, pero no sabía yo que había incurrido en este delito, ¿verdad? Pero estoy pagando la multa y pues creo que es lo que puedo decir.
Setback.
This item was tabled, board members, because if I remember correctly, the drawing did not reflect properly what was on the property, am I correct?
Yes, that's correct. And we had our code enforcement go to the site and measure, so he did say that what the applicant revised is what's correct.
So the
on
revision
site.
here is actually what's correct.
Yes.
So did they close up the garage? Is that what's showing there?
The what?
Did they close up like a
Garage?
like a
Yes.
carport?
Yeah.
So you have no setback, basically.
Well, I think the setback, they enclosed something, their property, let me see here. The front setback from the required 20 feet to 9 feet, 10.5 inches of building setback. The line, the dotted line reflects the building setback, and I guess the proposed line would bring it a little bit more than 10 feet, well, 10.5 feet. So it'd be 9 feet, 10.5 inches. Does anybody have any questions? And was this already done?
Yes, it was already completed.
It was a carport to start with, right? And it was enclosed all around.
Yes, that's correct.
Una pregunta, Mr. Rivera. ¿Por qué no se hizo esto en la parte de atrás de la casa?
Ah, porque realmente hay una, o sea, está la yarda, número así, como dijera, tenía yo una alberca y y como ya estoy viendo realmente solo, entonces pues no hay lugar para atrás. Tengo un baño nada más así, pero atrás, pero es todo, no.
Porque
No hay
al
suficiente.
parecer del plano que tiene bastante,
Más de 30 pies.
sí, es bastante lugar allá atrás.
Sí, está la alberca, pero realmente ya no la voy a tener que tapar porque nada más estoy yo con mi esposa y realmente los hijos, ¿no? Pero sí, no hay realmente lugar por atrás.
¿No había sacado permiso para esto antes? ¿No sacó permiso?
Para
¿Para hacer esa construcción?
¿Para la alberca?
No, para este proyecto.
No, pensé que como tenía el carport desde hace más de 25, 30 años, lo cerré nada más, las 3 tapas le puse, o sea, la mandé poner. Las 3 tapas pensando que, o sea, está todo el techo, todo, las columnas, todo estaba así. Y lo que se me ocurrió fue,
Y no sabía que tenías que sacar un permiso.
la verdad, no, lo ignoraba. Como digo, esto fue hace como 8 meses, pero hace como 4, el señor policía me llevó lo de la multa, no sabía, la verdad.
No more questions? Any questions? Have a motion, to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. What do we want to do here? Problem is, it's already been built. I, for one, do not appreciate the fact that they're already built and people come asking for forgiveness, but at the other side, it's already been done.
The problem with that, Mr. Chair, is that if we allow this one, everybody else in the city was gonna go in within the setback. And
I agree.
And unfortunately, I can't.
The air condition's an eyesore as well, right?
Pardon?
The air condition's an eyesore right there in the front as well.
I mean, really, the whole thing, I mean, I don't think these pictures give us justice, because I mean, if you can imagine the whole carport in front, 9 feet from your house, and then you enclose the whole thing, I mean, there's really not deep space for anything. I can't, I wouldn't be able to agree on this.
All right, well, having said that, what do we do?
A motion to
Deny?
deny the request.
I have a motion to deny. I need a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to deny the variance request as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Third item on the agenda, let me get to it. Request submitted by Gilberto Hernandez to authorize an exception to the literal interpretation of Laredo Land Development Code, section 24-77, entitled Dimensional Standards, by granting a variance to the setback requirement on lot 29, block 8, San Isidro Northeast La Cuesta subdivision, phase 2, located at 537 Altozano Drive. Is there anybody here to speak on behalf? All right, sir. I need a motion to open a public hearing. I have a motion and a second
Second.
to open a public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Guadalupe Castillo. I'm an attorney with Zaffarini and Castillo Law Firm of Laredo, Texas. And I'm here representing Gilberto Hernandez and his wife Amanda, who are the owners of 537 Alpesoma in the San Isidro subdivision. And Mr. Gilberto Hernandez, just a little background on him, he's a 29-year-old man, serviceman, first-time home buyer. Just to set a little background on this matter. And I'll tell the board right now that what triggered this matter for us to come before the board again is that he received a letter on October 3, 2018, saying that on May 4, 2017, Adrián Ortegón Ramirez / KRK had submitted an application for variance on the same 537 Altozano. At that time, he had not purchased the property. On May 16 of 2017, he purchased the property. So he became the owner on May 16, 2017. Needless to say, he was never advised of a problem like this, never advised that someone else had gone and asked for a variance in this matter. So therefore, on June 14, 2017, the hearing was held by this board, and the matter was denied, the variance was denied. And so he gets this letter saying you need to comply or else we're going to ask for injunctive relief. Basically, my contention and my client's contention is that at the time that the board heard the matter, neither KRK nor Mr. Adrián Ortegón Ramirez had authority to speak on his behalf. And he did not know, he bought the property, he doesn't know until October 3, 2018, when he gets this letter saying you're violation. And they give him the order, VOA 23-2017, denying the variance. And so our contention is that that is a void order, in the sense that at that time, the owner was Mr. and Mrs. Hernandez. And pursuant to the rules of the board, there is no authorization affidavit attached authorizing anyone else to come in and ask for the variance. So at that time, I know you heard the matter, and I don't know what exactly was presented, but all I'm saying is that I think we believe we have the right to a rehearing on this matter because of that.
Well, I certainly appreciate the fact that you're here, but I need to clarify a few things and before we move forward. Staff, I need to verify, was on June 14th when we heard this, of 2017, who was the owner of record?
I don't have the file on me, but I'm pretty positive it was KRK. Because they applied more than a month before the hearing. So I'm pretty positive it was KRK when they submitted that deed. Now, if it was at the same time that transaction was happening, that's something different. But
Mr. Castillo, I
KRK
certainly, agree with the fact that it has to be the owner of record that makes the request. But please understand that we cannot move forward right now at this point with a request or with anything else until we consult with legal staff to verify, for once and for good, who was the owner of record at that point. Was it KRK? If it was if I understand what you're saying, but you're telling me one thing, we need to have our attorneys look into it. So the city would look into it, and that way they would tell us, really, it was KRK or it wasn't KRK. If it wasn't KRK, then we have to figure out what action we take, because really, the owner of record, if it was somebody else, yes. If that happens, then the owner of record would come forward.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate that. And what I was going to say, I have the warranty deed dated May 16, 2017. It's a certified copy.
And I understand, but we're not gonna pass that around here. We're gonna want, and we understand, but we're gonna want the attorney to look into it. But I would suggest that what we do is that we table the matter until such time that we get something in writing from our attorneys where we say, look, it was incorrectly done with KRK, or it was done properly, all right? I think, does everybody agree on that?
Yes.
I would just have one question to her, is that does the ownership matter if the issue still is at hand? Because ownership,
Passed on.
passed on, to me, I mean, we still got an issue with it, right? So does really ownership have anything to do with the outcome of the order? So that would be the only thing.
And I agree that it may not change the outcome, but truth be told is that the one that's proper to make the application has to be the owner of the property. So what we'll do is we'll clarify that point first. Once we clarify that point, it may not change the outcome, but at least they're entitled to the proper hearing. All right, sir?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that an agreement?
That is a great,
thank-
Judge. I appreciate your.
All right, so if that being said, I need a motion to table this.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
Mr. Castillo, in our notes here, they reference that a case has been filed in the 111th. Is that the case?
I have not filed any.
There's a lawsuit pending in the 111th, and it's been scheduled for an initial hearing on March 19th, 2019?
We have legal representation here to speak on that.
Is that the case?
That's correct. There has been a lawsuit, an injunction filed. The defendants have not been served in that matter yet.
Oh, the lawsuit was filed by the city to
Yes.
enjoin their use of the property in
Right.
violation of the ordinance?
That's correct.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so you're representing the city, right?
Yes.
So would you take this matter back and just verify who exactly, and so that way you can communicate to the board here, who was the owner of record? Mr. Castillo says he has the deed. In other words, all we need to do is have something in writing to our board so that we have, we're given the proper direction. All right?
That's fine, yes.
I appreciate it, thank you. So I have a motion to table, am I correct?
That's right.
I have a motion to second, to table this matter until we get that clarification. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, sir. What we'll do is, I'm sure we'll get that, you'll be back next month to where we can figure out what to do.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the next one. Last one, request submitted by Hickey Peña Architects to authorize an exception to the literal interpretation of Laredo Land Development Code, section 24-77, entitled Dimensional Standards by granting a variance to the setback requirements of the east one half of Lot 2, Block 87, Western Division, located at 213 Lincoln Street. Is there anybody here to speak on behalf there? Yes, you are. I need a motion to open the public hearing. I have a motion and a second to open a public hearing. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So it seems to me like we saw you not long ago. So was this the one that, no, this is a
This
different
is a
one.
different one.
Thank you.
So, as you, sorry, Rick Solis, representing the owner with Hickey Peña Architects. So we presented another property last month. Again, this is a project that we're doing through the City of Laredo Community Development Department. Their housing rehab program that they have. Essentially, these people are getting a loan from to demolish the house and rebuild it to bring it up to code, because some of these houses are in pretty bad shape. We end up, a lot of the times, the properties that we have are a lot of records, they're really small pieces of property, and we're trying to do the best that we can. So for this particular project, the project's located at 213 Lincoln. It's in the Azteca neighborhood. We're asking for a variance. The land development code maintains that you need a minimum 30-foot lot width for to be considered a lot of record. Our lot is, I believe, 27 feet wide. So the variance that we're asking for is to allow us to reduce the lot width minimum requirement. We're still gonna meet all setbacks on the sides and in the front and in the rear. So really all we're asking for is just that variance for the lot width.
So it would just be side setbacks.
Well,
no.
we're gonna give you 5 feet on either side, 20 feet in the front, 20 feet in the back, or probably more than that. The house isn't that deep. We're just saying by the land development code, we need 30 feet.
Your starting point has to be 30 or more.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But we're saying, well, we only have 27 feet, so please allow us to build on 27 feet.
Anybody have any questions? Well, you were here the last time we did that, right?
No, sir, but I've been on another one that we
Yeah.
had similar situation.
Yeah, we had.
But I
and,
understand what the problem is.
I just want to I just want to clarify for my own sake,
Sure.
We're looking at demolishing this one, or is what?
No, the top one is the rendering of what it's gonna look like. The bottom one is the one we're demolishing. I don't have a picture.
That's what I'm saying. This is gonna be demolished and this is gonna be
Yes,
replaced
yeah.
with that.
Yes, that's correct, yes. So all
Other
the,
questions? All right, need a motion to close the public hearing?
That's so moved.
A motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Any discussion? And a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
the owner did wanna say something, is that okay?
Sure, absolutely.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Lorena Leja. Venía a hablar tocante mi casa. Es que la casa realmente, mi casa ya todas las paredes están, muchas termitas, está comiendo toda la pared. Y los pisos, se da cuenta que ya están todos, son de piso. Es pura madera, ya está toda podrida. Y da cuenta que pues yo le puse alfombras, pero se traspasa lo de la madera, se traspasa las alfombras. Los baños, pues da cuenta que pues nos estamos bañando con botes, agarramos el agua, llenamos el bote y pues la bañera es de fierro y donde piso da cuenta que se siente donde ya se va a caer y los dos baños están iguales. Da cuenta que donde lavo vasijas, todo está podrido, la pared ya está toda podrida y por fuera de cuenta que pues no es madera, es como acerrín, algo así, y se está cayendo ya en pedazos también por fuera. Es por eso que realmente, ¿verdad?, yo estoy pidiendo la ayuda, porque realmente pues mi casa ya se está cayendo, ¿verdad? Y donde está así, da cuenta que ya están en bloques y da cuenta que ya se está radiando todo. Le pongo una pelota y da cuenta que se va en el pasillo se está pudriendo todo, donde se está mojando, se está saliendo el agua.
Y si lo hacen, va a tener casa nueva.
Pues sí, ojalá yo quisiera que me ayuden, ¿verdad? Por eso
Pues
estoy aquí.
esperemos.
Por
Gracias.
eso yo le pido mucho a Dios, ¿verdad? Por eso.
Gracias.
Ok,
Gracias.
muchas gracias, con permiso.
Is there any other further discussion? Motion to close the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Having said that,
Motion approved.
I need a motion and a second to approve this. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much for what you do, for what you guys do on this thing. I mean, you know, lo aprobamos, señor. what you guys do on this, it's great. We certainly appreciate these kind of things. These are the happy ones that we like to deal with. Pardon? Oh, really? The other one? No, it's already demised. You know, for our benefit, one of the things I would like to see is pictures of the new one when you get it done.
Certainly do that.
But we're certainly excited to do something like this. I appreciate it.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Felicidades.
Is there anything else to come before the board?
That is all for today.
All right, having said that, this meeting is adjourned. I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas on the record.